Hello, I'm Professor Field, and I'm happy to welcome you to an update on the coronavirus testing model that I've been working on here at Bucknell. And I'm really pleased to provide this update with some uh, really promising looking results that we've gotten from our testing from our first 3 weeks here on campus. It's September 3rd, and in just the past few days, we've received testing results from every student on campus. We're now in the midst of testing every student a second time, and every student is being tested every 10 days here at Bucknell. So um, we've had some cases that have been detected, some individuals that were positive, as we would have expected. We were able to pre-screen students before they arrived on campus, and that prevented some transmission here on campus. But we now have enough data to feed this into an SEIR model of spread within this population and see how we're doing. So that's what I'm going to show you here. This model is from a group in Switzerland that's put together epidemiological models for entire countries or states to use. I've adapted that to our Bucknell population. And what you can see here in the green line is the projected cases that we have here on campus throughout the semester. And this is using a starting point that now we have evidence it was a realistic starting point of up to 5 cases here on campus to start the semester, and an introduction of new cases about 1 every 4 days from outside of the campus community. This model includes all of our students, staff, and faculty who are here on campus. Students that are fully remote are not included in this model. The other important parameter of this model is that we have assumed an effective R, that is the spread of the infection here on campus, of slightly less than 1. This model uses a range of 0.77 to 1.01 as the effective reproductive number, and that seems to be a pretty good fit to the data, as you can see here. So the green represents the model, that the prediction of the model, and the gray points represent the cumulative cases so far, including both students here on campus and faculty and staff. We've had 11 cases so far here reported at Bucknell, and we are below the trajectory of the model at this point. We have an average case count of around 3 or 4 infectious individuals at a time here on campus predicted by this model, and this is a level of infection that you would expect based on the environment that we're in, and it's really promising that we are able to control this level of infection with the mitigation strategies that we're doing. So the great news for Bucknell is that the intervention strategies we're using are working: masking, socially distancing, de-densifying campus to some extent, largely by having our biggest classes fully remote or only partially in person at any given time. We've also been quite effective at maintaining a healthy environment with hand washing and other mitigation strategies. And I just want to applaud all the efforts of everyone here on campus who have been able to succeed where some other schools have not. This trajectory is looking very good. As you can see, it's actually even somewhat below the projections of this model. But I want to emphasize it's very important that we don't let our guard down. What I want to show you next is a situation where we take this good news and we relax our standards. We permit ourselves to because we're all so exhausted and tired of maintaining these restrictions, we permit ourselves to let our guard down. And what you find is very quickly the infection starts to spread on campus, and we have over 100 cases before the end of September, and we are in a danger of having to close down the campus before the end of the semester. In this scenario, if we let our guard down, we will end up with some severely ill people here on campus, and many more people run the risk of permanent damage. As we're now learning more and more about the long-term effects of COVID, we're now finding that even among otherwise very healthy people, young people that have gotten this infection, they can have very long-term damage to their heart muscle and their lungs. So we need to stay vigilant. We need to keep this up. In fact, I'm going to show you a third scenario where I've modeled what I think could happen here at Bucknell if we're able to maintain these effective interventions for the entire semester. And here you can see I've adjusted the model, that is the R, the effective R, down to around 0.6. And at this level of infection control, which we currently seem to be able to maintain, we're able to get through the entire semester with fewer than 100 students, faculty, and staff having been infected here in our campus community. So that is really promising news, and I'm really proud of everything that the faculty, the staff, and especially the students have been doing to keep this infection under control. That hasn't been the case at all of our colleges across the area. In fact, you can see here on this map where they're an outstanding dashboard where they're keeping track of colleges that have to change their plans from opening in person to going to remote instruction. You can see here in central Pennsylvania, Bloomsburg University, just up the road, has had to switch to remote instruction because there's been a lot of transmission on campus. There's been many other of our peer institutions that have had to switch their plans. We hope not to have to do that here at Bucknell because we can maintain these scenarios. So keep up the good work, and I hope to have a further update as the more data becomes available. Right now, it's really critical that we all maintain our testing compliance. That is, we go to every test as we're scheduled to go to it, that we maintain infection control throughout the whole week, whether we're in classes or socializing with friends and hanging out on the weekend. We can get through this, and we can still have a lot of the experiences that we want to have in person here at Bucknell, and we have to show ourselves that we can keep doing the right thing. Ray Bucknell.